Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon. I&R spoilers. Sally admits to Nick she chose the wrong Newman brother. Nally reunion brewing. Young and the Restless. Y&R spoilers suggest that the proverbial poop will eventually hit the fan in Geno City when the truth comes out about Adam Newman, Mark Grossman, and Chelsea Lawson's Melissa Claire Egan one-night stand. There was a point in time not too long ago when Sally Spectra, Courtney Hope, was struggling with the decision to pursue a relationship with Adam or his half-brother, Nick Newman, Joshua Morrow. In the aftermath of learning about the night Chatham shared in Baltimore, could this have Sally admitting she made the wrong choice? The Young and the Restless spoilers. Sally Spectra's heart will be ripped in two. Y&R spoilers suggest that when both Sally and Billy Abbott, Jason Thompson, find out about the Chatham one-nighter, their hearts will be broken, not only because of the betrayal but the continued cover-up. Both Sally and Billy, especially Billy, have questioned both Chelsea and Adam multiple times about their odd behavior. Chelsea almost cracked, but Adam has doubled down on his lies. When Sally finds out the truth, she'll lash out at Adam and break up with him. In the chaos of it all, will she head to Nick for some comfort? I&R spoilers. Sally Spectra was warned by Nick Newman multiple times. When Nick finds out what's happened, he'll allow Sally to lean on him. He cares about her, and in typical Nick style, he's remained friends with pretty much all of his exes. Sally may reflect that she had a choice between Nick and Adam, and she ended up choosing the wrong Newman brother. Nick is sweet, charming, funny, an amazing dad, smart, and not too hard on the eyes. Nick also warned Sally multiple times about Adam, although he likely won't rub salt into the wound by reminding her of this while she's upset. Still, due to Adam's most recent betrayal, could Sally and Nick consider a romantic reunion? He's still single and has yet to enter another relationship with someone else since their breakup. Although it looks like the Y&R is gearing up for a Sally/Billy pairing, as the soap seems to be feeling out the waters on this, many Nally fans would love nothing more than to see these two come back together. Would you like to see Nally reunite? Share your thoughts in the comment section. Make sure to watch your favorite CBS soap daily to catch all the Geno City drama, and visit CTS regularly for the most up-to-date Young and the Restless spoilers and news. Sally Spectra stood at the window of her penthouse, the city lights twinkling below as if they were the stars she once wished upon. But tonight, those lights did nothing to quell the storm brewing inside her. The silence in the room was deafening, broken only by the occasional honk of a car horn far below. She took a deep breath, trying to calm the whirlwind of thoughts that had plagued her for weeks, but they swirled in her mind with relentless persistence. It was a simple text from Nick, asking to talk. Nothing unusual, nothing ominous, yet it had shaken her to her core. She knew that this conversation had been a long time coming, but that didn't make it any easier to face. With each passing day, the weight of her decision pressed heavier on her heart, and tonight she would finally have to confront it. The knock at the door was soft but firm, just like him. Sally closed her eyes for a moment, gathering herself before she walked across the room and opened the door. Nick Newman stood on the threshold, his face etched with concern, his eyes searching hers for answers he wasn't sure he wanted to hear. "Hey," he said softly, his voice a comforting balm to her frayed nerves. "Hey," she replied, stepping aside to let him in. The tension in the air was palpable as he walked into the living room, his gaze never leaving her. For a moment, neither of them spoke, the silence between them growing heavy with unspoken words. Finally, Nick turned to face her, his expression unreadable. "Sally, what's going on? You've been distant lately, and I can't help but feel like there's something you're not telling me." Sally felt a lump form in her throat, her emotions threatening to spill over. She had always been so strong, so confident, but when it came to the Newman brothers, she was anything but. The lines between love and loyalty, passion and practicality had blurred, leaving her in a haze of confusion. "I've been thinking a lot, Nick," she began, her voice trembling slightly. "About us, about everything that's happened, and about Adam." Nick's jaw tightened at the mention of his brother's name, but he didn't interrupt. He knew this conversation wasn't going to be easy, but he needed to hear her out. "I care about you so much," Sally continued, her eyes welling with tears. You've been nothing but good to me, and I wanted to believe that we could make this work. But no matter how hard I try, I can't ignore the fact that my heart is still tied to Adam. I thought I could move on, that choosing you was the right thing, but I think I made a mistake." The words hung in the air, heavy and heartbreaking. Nick took a deep breath, trying to steady himself. He had suspected that Sally's feelings for Adam hadn't completely disappeared, but hearing her admit it out loud was a blow he wasn't fully prepared for. "Are you saying you don't want to be with me anymore?" he asked, his voice strained with the effort to remain calm. Sally shook her head, wiping away the tears that had started to fall. "No, it's not that simple. I do care about you, Nick, I really do. But I've been lying to myself and to you about where my heart truly lies. Every time I'm with you, I'm haunted by thoughts of Adam. It's not fair to either of us for me to keep pretending that everything is okay when it's not." Nick looked away, his mind racing. He had fallen for Sally hard, despite all the warnings and the baggage that came with her past. He had wanted to be the one to help her forget about Adam, to build something real and lasting with her, but now he was faced with the harsh reality that he might never be able to compete with the connection she shared with his brother. "I just don't understand, Sally," he said, his voice laced with pain. "After everything Adam's put you through, after all the times he's hurt you, how can you still want him?" Sally bit her lip, struggling to find the right words to explain the complex emotions she herself barely understood. "It's not that simple, Nick. Adam and I, we have this chemistry, this connection that I can't seem to shake. He's not perfect, far from it, but there's a part of me that still believes in the good in him, that thinks we can find our way back to each other. And I know that's unfair to you, but I can't keep denying it anymore." Nick felt his heart break a little more with every word she spoke. He had always known that loving Sally meant dealing with the shadow of Adam, but he had hoped that in time, she would see that he was the better choice. That hope was now slipping through his fingers like sand. "So what happens now?" he asked, his voice barely above a whisper. Sally looked down, her hands twisting nervously. "I don't know," she admitted. "I just know that I need to be honest with you and with myself. I don't want to hurt you, Nick, but I think we both deserve to be with someone who can give us their whole heart. And right now mine is too divided to do that." Nick nodded, the reality of the situation settling in. "I appreciate your honesty, Sally," he said, his voice thick with emotion, "but that doesn't make this any easier." "I know," she whispered, fresh tears spilling down her cheeks. "And I'm so sorry." For a long moment, they stood there in silence, the weight of their words pressing down on them. Finally, Nick stepped forward, gently cupping her face in his hands. He looked into her eyes, searching for any sign that she might change her mind, but all he saw was the pain of her own inner turmoil. "Just promise me one thing," he said softly, his voice breaking. "Promise me that you'll take the time to really figure out what you want before you go back to him. Don't let him hurt you again, Sally. You deserve better than that." Sally nodded, her heart aching with the knowledge that she was losing something good, something real. But she also knew that until she confronted her feelings for Adam, she would never be able to give Nick the love he deserved. "I promise," she whispered, her voice trembling with the weight of the moment. Nick leaned in, pressing a gentle kiss to her forehead before stepping back. "Take care of yourself, Sally," he said, his voice thick with emotion, and with that he turned and walked out of her penthouse, leaving Sally alone with her thoughts and the uncertain future that lay ahead. As the door closed behind him, Sally sank onto the couch, burying her face in her hands. The decision she had made was the hardest one she had ever faced, but deep down, she knew it was the right one. She just hoped that in the end, it wouldn't be a mistake that she would come to regret.